He's back.
He's back.
Nicholas,
Hi,
you've joined
everyone.
us again.
How's everyone going?
Welcome back to the show, buddy.
Oh, thanks, bud.
So good to have you here, man.
Oh.
We've missed you a bunch.
So good to be back. I've missed it. I'm not going to lie. I've missed it.
I could imagine.
Totally missed.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's another episode of Tys and Videotape. This
Hey,
time,
gang.
the original
The
lineup.
The original lineup. The creators.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Nick is back after his
Hey,
adventures in parenthood.
Yeah.
Not that it's over. I
Not
mean,
that it's over.
It's
No, it's still
obviously a
going. It's still
continuing
going. Yes.
journey
Yeah. It's huge.
for another,
Yeah.
another 18
It's
years
not
or
as
so.
hard. It's not as hard as I thought.
Hey,
It's not as,
well,
you
that's
know.
good for all the prospective parents
I
out there.
know.
They can heed your advice.
I think because you get bombarded with articles of, oh, this is going to happen. This is going to happen.
Sure,
This is going to happen.
sure.
This, you know.
And like you can Google anything now.
Yes,
So
exactly.
imagine when 20
Imagine
years
back
ago,
in the 80s. Like,
and like a baby makes a weird noise or spits up something
Yeah,
kind of
exactly.
weird looking, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're like, what the fuck? What the
what
fuck? What
was
the
that?
fuck? What do I do?
What
do
was
I
that?
do?
Was that? Yeah.
No, it's
You're
just,
like, nah, it's good.
yeah, it's all good.
It's
It's
fine.
all
It's
good.
fine. It's
Well,
fine.
Nick, you're back, and in
I am,
order
Tys.
to celebrate your return,
Yes.
we're talking about a film that not only features a baby,
Yes.
but
did
one that
you-
was probably very important to both of our childhoods,
It was,
I would say.
Yeah, it was very big.
That is Labyrinth,
Labyrinth.
1986.
Yeah, man.
1986, Jim
86,
Henson's
Jim Henson.
Labyrinth.
Jim Henson, man.
Yeah.
Only directed 4 films. This is the 4th.
Yeah, I'll
He
have
did-
to go back and check what the other... I know what one of the other ones are.
One was
is.
I don't know no, it was Muppet Caper. He did a Caper.
Oh, Great Muppet Caper.
Great Muppet Caper.
Okay.
And then he did The Dark Crystal. And then there was something after that. And then there was Labyrinth.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, before we
do that.
before we have our discussion,
Yeah.
our feature presentation on Labyrinth,
I'm so excited to be here.
it's so good to have you back because
Yeah.
we're going to talk some trailers.
Trailers!
Everybody's... Oh, Nick, do you know what we forgot?
Oh. Where can people find us?
I've been doing it myself, and I've been doing a really shoddy job
No,
of
you've
it.
been doing a great job. I've been
Nick,
listening.
Tell people where they can find
Well,
us.
ladies and gentlemen, you can find us everywhere. Well, where you can find podcasts anyway.
Yes.
You can't find us at Coles. You can
Not yet.
Not yet.
No action figures
No.
available.
Actually, no, I was expecting like a voucher, a Nick Tys and Videotape voucher. You know where they keep the vouchers?
Yeah.
But no, you can find us where you find good all good podcasts. Oh my god, straight off the bat. Seriously, Nick. But yes, the main one is iTunes, ladies and gentlemen. You can rate, review, like
That's
us.
Please
leave a review.
Leave a review.
Leave a review.
Yep.
Yeah,
That'd be
it's been
lovely.
fun. And then other than that, it's all the social medias apart from Insta.
Facebook's going off.
Facebook is going off.
Yeah.
We've been having a lot of fun with that.
Get in the conversation, people.
Yeah.
You're missing out.
Even
It's a lot
though-
of fun.
Pardon me. Even though I've been away, I've still been keeping up to date.
Yeah, man. Oh,
I've been
just
loving-
happened to your voice.
Sorry, I was swallowing Dr. Pepper at the same time. Even though I've been away, I've been listening. I've been loving it. Parenthood is one of up there with one of my favourite movies. I just have to say hi, Gary.
It would have been you and Jemima could have had a big old love in on it.
I loved it. And then the year of '99, it's like the year of films.
It's a good fucking year,
oh
man.
my god.
Good year. Well, at least we got to keep up. You got to on our Facebook and on our Twitter pages. You would have forgot to see. We did a top 10 of '99 a couple of weeks
Exactly,
ago, and
yeah.
Nick got to put his list up on Facebook and Twitter.
I did.
We did a top 5 Leo DiCaprio performances. Nick also got to put his list up on
Which I didn't
Facebook
think.
and Twitter.
Yeah, listening to it, I didn't think that DiCaprio would be up there. But going from films that he's been in. I do like a lot of films that he's been
I
in.
agree, man.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
I found
And I
that
did-
was an easy list to make.
I feel like I feel like I missed out on our third guest. I missed out
West.
on Katie Weston.
Katie Weston, who will no doubt be back.
She better be back.
She will indeed. So now that we've done that,
now that we've done
horseshit, find us on Twitter, Facebook, all
Twitter,
that stuff.
Facebook,
and the
write the Gmail.
Nick Tys and Videotape at gmail.com. If you would like to suggest a film for us to talk about, or suggest a topic for us to rank, or just
anything,
talk shit
anything.
at us.
anything.
Anything you like. Now we're going to talk about trailers.
Now we'll talk about trailers.
Everybody's talking
Trailers.
Okay,
Everybody's talking. Sorry, go.
so Nicholas,
Yes, do you want to go first? Or
I
want
think
me
you
to
can go first
Yeah? All right.
as a welcome back.
As a welcome back. Oh, that's nice of you. All right.
Welcome
Well,
back.
this isn't a new trailer by any means,
Sure,
Tys, but
you've been sitting on this one
I've
for
been
a few
sitting
weeks.
on this because This blew me away. This looks intense.
All right.
Yeah, this was brought to my attention by a friend of the podcast, Mr. Rob Dog Milady.
Rob Milady, how you doing?
Rob Milady.
Haven't heard from you for a while,
I know.
Rob. Where are you, mate?
Oh, he's out there. He's out there. Probably at some pub. The Foreigner, Tyson.
The Foreigner.
Did you watch this, Tys? Oh, Tys, have you not seen
I don't
this?
think I did.
I think we did pause and then just make you watch it.
All right, well, we can do that.
We can do that?
Yeah. Why don't we just pause
Let's
and I'll
pause and watch it.
Okay,
Go on.
let's do it. Okay, we're back.
Yeah,
I have seen it. But we'll explain why, because it's got a generic shit title.
No, it's not shit.
Well,
I just think
the title
it's
of
very
Steven
generic.
Seagal straight to DVD
that's
film
true.
from like 1998 as
But
well.
The Foreigner, Jackie Chan.
Yeah, Jackie Chan, Pierce Brosnan.
And
Martin Campbell directing.
Now, for those of you playing the home game, the last thing that Martin Campbell directed, Tyson, was
it Green Lantern?
Yeah, it was Green Lantern.
So
Yeah. But this is still the guy who gave us.
Is it really? He has not. He must have directed something since then.
Well, Tyson, to be honest, if you directed Green Lantern,
you'd want to take a little bit
a break, go to Tahiti. Maybe get the creative
that's it.
waters.
I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah. Other than that, he gave us GoldenEye and he gave us Casino Royale.
Yeah,
this is the man who knows how to do action.
Look, and I completely agree with that. I really enjoyed this trailer.
Oh, nice.
I thought maybe it was going to be, because you see
a Jackie Chan.
It's a Jackie Chan movie, and you think, okay, cool.
Sure.
What are we looking at? And he's trying some new stuff, Jackie Chan, which is kind of interesting. He did, after he did the kind of the wise old man thing for the Karate Kid reboot, and he's gone back to do some historical epics and things like that, which have been met to kind of
that's true
mixed acclaim, I guess.
But Jackie Chan with an actor of Jackie Chan's skill, with a story that looks this meaty, I just feel that this is just going to be insane.
It does.
It's just using him. Yes, his martial artist's skill is used well in the movies that he makes, but it's more. I feel that should kind of be a second to a story that can use him really well, and I feel that that's what this is going to be.
Yes, that's definitely fair.
Yeah, but
good looking movie. I like this version of Jackie Chan. I like this old grizzled, serious Jackie Chan. I think we're entering a really cool point, because he's still obviously got the chops, man.
But I did the math. He's in his late 60s to us.
There's some stuff in that trailer that you were just like, my God.
There's no way, man. Take a break,
Yeah.
Even yeah. Wow.
No, so what So what happens again?
So it's that's all right. That's all right.
Because it does kind of it seems like it could be meaty, but I feel like I've seen almost this exact same film.
Oh yeah, it's probably been done before, but it just, I don't know. I feel with the combination of Jackie Chan, Martin Campbell, and even Pierce Brosnan bringing that.
Pierce Brosnan is great.
He's good. He's good.
He's always serviceable.
But yeah, so Jackie Chan, the trailer starts with him and his daughter. He says goodbye to his daughter. His daughter goes into a store or something. The store blows up.
Yes, of course.
His daughter dies.
Yeah.
And you see, it's just a shot of grizzled Jackie Chan with bits of glass in his face and dust all over him. And he goes to some man who is in power in the government or something. You don't really know just yet. And asks him, tell me who the terrorists are. I want the names. Can I have the names, please? He goes, no, we don't. You can't do that. It's not legal. You're not allowed to do that. And he goes, well, here's $20,000. No, we still can't do that. So and then you get a sense through the trailer that he's coming back every day. Yeah. He's not going to leave him alone. And then, because something must happen where...
I feel like he gets the information on his own accord? Is that what it kind of takes it into his own hands?
A little. Well, that because it gives the sense that Pierce Brosnan's character used to meddle with... That Pierce Brosnan has had a bit of a criminal background. Okay. Even though he's in government.
Right.
But then it just escalates into just, oh my God.
You know what I've remembered what it reminds me of. Do you remember Law-Abiding Citizen?
Oh, yes, I do remember that. I remember the cover quite well.
Yes, that was shithouse. But it's very similar. It's Gerard Butler. His family gets killed in some kind of terrorist attack, and so he plants bombs and things to get revenge.
It felt a little, which is a movie I love, Taken. It felt a little Taken.
Yeah, sure.
Me.
But hey, man, if you pitched a movie to me and said it's Taken but with Jackie Chan and as Liam Neeson,
with no comedy element, I'm
pretty much in. I'm like, that actually sounds like a great idea. I'm on board for this 100%. I think.
I just think using I love this because it's using Jackie Chan for something serious rather than the tuxedo Tyson.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Of course, 100%.
Yeah,
and that's.
And I know that Jackie likes to do comedy.
Yeah,
that's why he likes the
he's a physical comedian.
Exactly.
Like that's a lot of his shtick. But I like the idea that he's willing and kind of not just willing, but actually. I think seeks out challenges like this, and you got to respect him for that. Yeah. It's kind of like any big action star when they decide to do like a serious role. It's it's Arnold Schwarzenegger doing these weird things that he's doing now. I appreciate it because it's kind of like they are trying to push themselves.
Yeah, man, get out of the box.
Performers, and like you got to respect them for that.
Exactly.
They're not always great films, but they're trying. They're trying to do something different, and that's
exactly
cool. All right, nice. So that was what's the fucking word? I've already forgotten.
The Foreigner. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everyone's going to forget. People, have a look at the trailer. Yeah. This has to be seen.
I agree. All right. Well, speaking of generic looking,
what do you got?
I'm going to talk about a trailer for a movie called A Family Man. Not The Family Man.
Nicolas Cage.
No, yeah. Wow, he's looking real good. No, not The Family Man from 2001-ish.
Whatever the hell.
A Family Man, starring Gerard Butler.
Oh, Gerard Butler. Okay.
Alison Brie, strangely enough.
Oh, I love Alison Brie.
Willem Dafoe. It is, I believe, a first or second time director.
Yeah.
It's not anyone of any great note.
Mark Williams? Never heard of him.
The reason why I want to bring up this film
go on.
Is because the trailer is one of those trailers that I know exactly what it's trying to do.
Right.
But you and I and a lot of other people I know would watch it and laugh at how it is going about it.
Right.
Because it is...
What do you mean by that?
It is the tailor-made...
midday movie?
Well, it looks better than a midday movie, but you're on the right track. Right. It is the tailor-made, manipulative, quirky drama, family drama,
right?
That will make you feel good at the end,
right?
And
so
it's forgettable. It's easily disposable. Sunshine. I think it's worse than that.
Worse, right?
Yeah, it's in a
not
different.
That Little Miss Sunshine is bad.
It's not in a different league. No.
Yeah. Okay.
It's in a different league. It's trying to, and the way this trailer it sets it up, it's so perfect. You've got your Gerard Butler is the hardworking man who kind of doesn't pay a lot of attention to his kids.
Sure.
And there's the scene that basically tells you exactly that. It's him in the office and then him at home having breakfast, and it's like I've got to go travel and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You've got the cool acoustic guitar in the soundtrack with the lines of dialogue like there's more to life than work and blah blah blah. This kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then it's the little bit of the plot where it's like whoever can come out on top and sell the most whatever the fuck they're selling can be the head person at the company.
You get the new job.
You get the new job, but then his son gets sick. Oh no, what's he gonna do?
No.
Is he gonna focus on his family or is he gonna focus on work? And then there's more hipster fucking pop ballads in the background
with
and
a gravelly voice or something.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what it is? It's that, and I love this song, but it's that grab your things, I've come to take you. Dun, 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 when the only thing that matters is family. It's that fucking. It's that, and the shots of him running through like streets
with like a suitcase fully tied.
And there's like shots of the sunset over whatever fucking city they're in, and then there's the slow bit at the end, and it's like, well, I've got everything I need right here.
It reminds me of that.
Our family, man. And it's like, fuck off with this shit. Aren't we past this?
We're not past this. Do you know why, Tyson? Because you know who this is aimed at, don't you?
I know exactly who it's aimed at. Exactly. Yeah, of course.
That reminds me. What you described just then reminded me of that. What's the Ben Stiller movie where he goes on a life travel thing and he jumps?
Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
That one.
Yeah.
So that is.
And do you know what the problem is? What actually started it? It's a Cameron Crowe thing. Like Cameron Crowe trailers always felt this way for me.
Yeah. That's
like if you watch the trailer to like Jerry Maguire or something like this is basically a bad version of the Jerry Maguire trailer. Like, And so many people have tried to do this for so long.
Was that in the trailer?
No, what's the is that Streets of Philadelphia? No.
You're the streets. No.
I know the one.
Or something like that. Isn't it something like that?
It's a Springsteen song, is it?
No, it's not a Springsteen. Is it?
I'm confused with Streets of Philadelphia, I think.
It's not Streets of Philadelphia.
I know the one.
I know that.
Yeah,
but
I know
isn't
the song.
that in their trailer?
I think you're right. I think I know exactly what song you're singing. Yeah. But that's what I mean. It's that this has got a kind of updated version of it, but the acoustic guitar that kicks in at one point, and it's always when, I swear to God, it's always when the sun is coming up, or there's like a pan, like a transition shot, where there's like a lens flare, and it flares as the acoustic kind of, and anyway.
I have to see this trailer. I don't want to see the movie. I have to see the trailer.
No, I will never see this film. You could tell me it's really, really great. It's almost like out of fucking I can't see it, it's because like to prove a point, we are past this. And the movie tells the whole story. Like the trailer tells the whole story as well, which is also frustrating. But even the concept of these movies, I thought we got past the middle-aged white man finding out that family is important. Like, I feel like we're past that. And why is that still a story that we're telling? Have we not like really gone to the nth degree of examining those characters?
I understand what you're saying, but don't you think that that's like saying hasn't the love story been told a million times?
No,
do you know what I mean?
I completely I will concede that point.
I don't know why we have this.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I think it's been, you know why? Because it's been a while since Nicolas Cage's Family Man.
Nicolas Cage as Peter Griffin in the Family. Yeah, I could see that. I could actually. Yeah, I feel like he would really relish the challenge of that.
He'd take it a bit too far, I feel.
Yeah, he takes everything a bit far. That's Nick Cage to a T. Look, good point. Good point. Then. I think maybe it's the fact that I have seen this trailer 40 times.
That's true, yeah.
And
as a man that's seen a lot of trailers.
And I don't think the movie ever lives up to it. No. I think we've been trying to tell a variation on this story for a very long time, and it's rarely effective. Yeah. There you go. Check it out for a bit of a laugh. If anyone remembers that, there was a really great YouTube video floating around a couple of years ago of it was called like Oscar Bait the Movie or something, and it was some people had edited together like their own trailer.
Right.
With all the tropes for Oscar Beatty trailers.
Oh, yeah.
But they were really on it. Like, they weren't some of them weren't like the really obvious kind of immature kind of angles on the gags. They played them really subtle, and their music choices were perfect. Their dialogue choices were perfect.
Yeah.
Even like things like just camera angles and stuff, like they really knew their shit.
Oh, nice.
And so that's a really funny YouTube video to find.
Yeah.
This is the trailer that they're taking the piss out of. Like, essentially
that's
the feel, the mood especially is it was what they were fucking canning.
Fair deal.
So yeah, give it a watch because it's kind of funny.
Give it a watch, people.
A Family Man. And to those people who would watch it and go, oh, I think I might actually like that.
That's okay.
That's totally okay.
That's
Go
totally
for
fine.
it. If you watched Collateral Beauty last year and thought that was a real good time at the movies,
I want to watch that because of how much flack it's gotten. I need to see this now.
I need to see that trailer and this trailer have a lot in common.
Exactly. Oh, and also, if you do remember the song that I was trying to sing, can you please tell me what it is?
She takes you in her.
You know it. You know it. You have to tell me what it is.
Yeah. Except I keep wanting to go Streets of Philadelphia at the end of it, but that's not it.
That's not it.
That's my Springsteen, by the way.
That's very good. That's quite good.
What's that one about the road?
Stop it. We're moving on.
We are moving on. Hey, why don't we talk about what did we watch this week?
Okay, I can do that.
Hey, Nick, what did you watch the last 3 weeks?
Jesus, I've
buddy?
got shitloads. Tys.
I've got shitloads too because I've been saving them.
I know, I heard.
And this, I think this can be, we're going to do like a speed round. Are you ready?
All right, but I want to, speed round, but I want to have a little glimpse of what I want.
Slight conversations. Yeah. Only slight conversations.
But I'm... Hang on, wait.
Because, I've got like 8 things to talk about.
Jesus,
at least.
I've got way too many. Oh no, I've watched a lot, but there's only one I want to talk about. So I'm going to say what I've watched, but talk about one. How about that? Is that okay? But I want you to give me short little sentences of what I've watched.
Okay, yeah, I can.
Do you want to do that?
I can definitely
do that. Okay. All right. I'm not going to say the one.
Do we go one for one, or are you going to do all yours and then we'll do all mine?
No, we're going to do all mine.
Okay.
And then we're going to do all yours.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yep.
So starting off.
Yep.
The Never-Ending Story.
Yeah, great.
Man Without a Face.
Why? What
Why not is the
choice.
question. Why not is the question. Mystic River.
Oh, depressing.
Yep. But so awesome. As Good as It Gets.
Oh, yeah. Good movie.
Fucking great
Really
movie.
good movie.
Yeah. The Janis Joplin doco, Little Girl Blue.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. You're going to have to tell me about that.
There you go. Mine with Armie Hammer.
Oh.
Fucking shithouse.
Oh, no. No.
Absolute
Oh, what a bummer.
crap. Yeah.
Sucks.
The Little Mermaid.
Oh, cartoon.
Yeah. Cartoon. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there's not like...
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
did you
not
hear
live
about this
action
weird
yet.
live
It's
action
coming,
version?
It's coming. Oh, the one that
It's
goes
like
by
it's a
Hans
foreign
Christian
film.
Andersen? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That does the actual... How she dies in the end? She commits suicide.
Well, yeah.
That's the original story.
It's like it's also kind of like a weird horror, like body
I saw
horror
that
movie.
Was that on? That was on Facebook somewhere, wasn't it? And you showed clips of it.
And there's like weird kind of like sex with mermaids and people getting killed and stuff.
We're gonna put it up on the Facebook.
We should, because it was a real fucking head trip.
Two more. All About Eve. Oscar, yeah, amazing. 1950. And then, so it went from Oscar to fucking, for some reason, Nick watched Charlie's Angels.
Oh, like 2000.
2000s. Like,
wow.
Fuck me, it is bad. Like,
do you know what?
bad.
I really liked that movie in 2000.
So did I. I loved it.
It is the most 2000 movie.
It is. It really is. There is no dialogue. There is no script.
They just made shit up.
It was just crap.
It was just, we're just going to do these rip-off Matrix action scenes. We're going to put you in fucking tight pants.
And
People
there is
won't
so
care.
many rip-off like Matrix that they're like, no, Matrix did this, we need to do that. Like they're jumping at each other and then going like, you know how Agent Smith and Neo go,
yeah.
and it does that?
Yeah.
Literally in Charlie's Angels. The only reason you'd watch it is for Bill Murray.
Or Crispin Glover being a fucking creepo in that. Doesn't he like cut a bit of their hair off?
No,
and
he pulls it off.
Oh.
He doesn't.
Does he like?
He sniffs
it
and then screams.
Oh, that's right. It's the scream. I knew there was something straight after it. Yeah.
So stupid. Anyway, that's what I watched.
Crispin Glover, man. You know he would have probably improv that too. I reckon that he would have been.
Yeah. And the girls would have been actually scared of him.
Can I sniff the hair and then
Whatever, Willard, you weird fucker.
Crispin, just
Crispin, can you just go over there?
Can you just?
No, you're not getting more money, mate. Fuck off.
Crispin, just get out of my trailer, Crispin.
Yeah. It's a little
I just need a second by
awkward.
myself. You're really freaking me out. Is it okay if I sniff your hair, Drew?
Gross. But yeah,
I love him.
that was my list. And a lot of television as well.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, it's because all you do in between changes and feedings.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
It's so
man.
good. Oh, you have no idea how much TV I'm watching.
This is the thing. Like, I could imagine that because watching. I tend to watch if I have the opportunity. I think probably 2 movies a day is probably my maximum that I can kind of.
Oh yeah.
Because I want to give them the attention that they deserve.
No, but that's what I thought because I felt immense guilt when the first week we had. Clark, sorry, my son's name is Clark.
Yeah, he is. I gave it
a little
sizzle.
It was such a beautiful sizzle too.
Yeah.
So yeah, my son's name is Clark.
In honor of
Christopher Reeve's Superman. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Beautiful name.
But yeah, so that's what I thought. There was immense guilt to me even picking up my phone while my son is in my hand. Like I shouldn't have to.
I don't mean it like that. I don't want to. I mean pay the movie attention, not pay your kid attention.
But that's the thing, like you don't realize, and I'm like, no, I want to give my son the full attention, but he doesn't care. He's asleep.
True.
There's only so much you can stare at a kid, even for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I bet.
I've done it for full days.
Of course.
Yeah. But yes.
Well, and so I tend to kind of if I know that I don't have the attention span to give a movie its due,
Right.
I'll just watch television.
Exactly.
I'll just
And
put a
that's
couple
what you wanna
episodes of
do,
something
yeah,
on.
yeah.
So yeah, I completely
Give me your list,
feel you.
Tys. Give me your list. Go
All
on.
right. Well, I've been on
Am
school
I doing
holidays.
quick ones as well?
If you like.
All right, go on.
I've been trying to do a thing where I don't watch movies I've seen before. I've been trying really hard.
Guys, let's hear it.
But there's been a few.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
All right, let's
Here
go.
we go.
Let's hear it.
So I don't know if I've spoken about this, but rewatched Serenity. Because,
nice. Firefly with M.
My partner,
Yep.
we finished the Firefly series
Nice.
by watching Serenity. I fucking love that movie.
How good is it?
It is.
Brought on the tears.
Oh man, there's always so much tears in that film. And look, I don't know.
Especially followed up by the series. Like, you have to watch that series and then Serenity. It'll just...
And Emma had seen the movie before and she loved it, but had never seen the series. And so watching it again with the series, amazing. It was it had a much bigger weight to it. I watched Westworld, 1973's Westworld, because of the movie.
I love that cover.
The cover is fucking
just
great.
For that cover.
I didn't love this movie. No, I'll be honest. I didn't enjoy it very much. I think there's some really interesting ideas in it, and there's some really strange directorial choices.
Yeah. Is it Charlton Heston or is it?
No, it's
Ball? Is it?
It's Yul Brynner's the main bad guy. Right, yeah. He's the main robot. It's James Brolin is kind of.
Whoa.
Well, and then this guy Richard Benjamin who, I hadn't seen in a lot of things. I don't think is the lead.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a very odd fit for this film.
Right. What else you got?
There are some things worth watching in it, but overall it was a bit disappointing.
Yeah.
I watched Bowfinger, which in preparation for 1999 list, just to see if maybe it would make my list, and it doesn't.
I need to see that again. I feel like it was a lot funnier than I give it credit for. Like, I remember it being really funny.
It is really funny.
Yeah.
I don't think it has the legs
anymore
to sustain a full movie length.
Right.
You know when you're watching a funny comedy and you're just loving the first half an hour, and then at maybe an hour you kind of
drops off. Yeah.
Some of this doesn't have the legs.
Yeah.
This is the one that has been my favorite that I've seen over the last couple of weeks. I watched for the first time John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh my God! Tys!
I know, and I'd never seen it. I was waiting
we were going to do this in what... Oh, no, actually, no, we won't. Keep going.
Yeah, well, because we thought about maybe doing it as a...
Terrorizing Tyson? No.
No, as a remake.
That's right.
Everything Old is New Again.
Yeah. How good is this movie, Tys?
I fucking loved The Thing.
Yeah.
I loved it. And I knew I would, because I just love everything that John Carpenter's about.
Yeah.
Like, there is not a film of his that I don't like. Even the ones that people think are shit, I still quite enjoy.
Really?
And I haven't seen all of his. I'm making my way through. A lot of these earlier stuff I haven't seen. Like, I haven't seen The Fog, for instance, and stuff like that.
No.
So I'm just enjoying going through a lot of his stuff.
God, that was good.
It was so fucking good.
Ending to that movie.
The ending is stunning. The practical effects, I knew how good they were, and still they are stomach churning, some of them,
but still top notch.
But
do you know what I mean?
Like, they look so good, but this is what I mean. Like, CGI doesn't give me that feeling. CGI doesn't. I don't have that tangible, like, oh, this is making me feel sick, because it's so realistic. And just the performances are all fucking great too. The scene, the blood testing scene is one of my has jumped to straight up one of my all-time favorite scenes of a film. Like, just so much tension in that. So wonderful. I really loved it. Thought it was great. We saw the Mummy remake.
Oh yeah,
with Tom Cruise. Yeah. I don't think it's as bad as what people are saying, but it's not good, unfortunately. It's for about the first hour and a bit. It's actually really, really entertaining.
Okay.
And then it takes a pretty steep nosedive.
Yeah. Fair deal.
But that's okay.
Sure.
Dracula 2000.
Oh, dear Lord.
Which is as bad as I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, that was my Charlie's Angels.
Pretty much. Every now and then, because it's the same year.
Yeah.
Every now and then you just go, I remember, I don't know if I
being
liked
really
it.
Good, yeah.
I went and saw this in a cinema.
I saw Charlie's 2000. Angels in the cinema.
I definitely saw that in the cinema.
Yeah.
I remember I was at the city and I was wagging uni. Because I was like, I cannot be fucked going to my classes today. So I went to the Greater Union in Russell Street.
I remember that, yeah. It's a dodgy cinema.
And this was showing, and it was a 11:30 a.m. session.
And you were the only one motherfucker.
Me and the other guy who wagged uni. Yep. Only people in the cinema.
I like it.
And I remember then thinking that it was not bad.
Right.
I remember being like, oh, but I didn't love the twist at the end.
Yeah.
Like, there's a twist at the end. Go, just Google it. Don't put yourself through the movie.
Don't watch it. Don't watch anything.
And I remember thinking that the twist was kind of shit, but I liked the rest of it. And now, God, it is so trash.
Slog.
It's really easy to watch because it's
bit entertaining,
it's on
flashy,
entertaining bad
fun.
levels. It really is. It's just such a fun time because of that 2000s aesthetic that is just it's everywhere in it. And it just you laugh at some of the things that they think are like because they're all they're badasses in this. And so like Danny Masterson from fucking
Danny Masterson,
that 70s show.
Oh, God.
Struts in like a Neo coat.
I hate everyone.
And
from
it is
that
just
show. I hate it. Apart from the females. Like the females I love.
Yeah, no,
the guys suck.
I like Ashton Kutcher. Yeah, and so he struts in like a full Neo jacket, thinking he's this badass thief, and he just looks ridiculous, and you have to laugh. And yeah, it's just Vitamin C, who sings that graduation song that was everywhere in 1999,
right.
plays like a supporting role. There's Virgin Megastores everywhere in this film. Like that is basically the setting of this film. And it just, you remember, remember the Virgin Megastore
they were huge.
in Jam Factory.
I was going to say...
I remember the Jam Factory one.
I remember
and it was like a floor. It was an entire bottom floor of Jam Factory. You could get lost in that fucking place.
Man. It was huge.
Anyway, so there's a lot of nostalgic kind of fun to Dracula 2000, but it is an awful film.
Fair deal.
Adventures of Tintin I saw for the first time, which I quite liked.
That was quite good.
Yeah, it was okay.
That was quite good.
Yeah, it loses steam a bit at the end, but
it does. It's a little bit long, but it was good.
And definitely long. But good fun and great visuals.
Yeah.
Spider-Man: Homecoming, which I've talked in briefly, which I love. You have to go see it. It's great.
Yep, I'll try.
I watched Kickboxer Vengeance.
What number is that? 5.
Well, I guess it's 5 now, but it's kind of like a remake of the first one because it's the same character names from the first one, except Van Damme is now playing the trainer character.
Oh, wow!
And Dave Bautista is Tong Po.
Oh, so it's recent.
Yeah,
so it's a recent kickboxer.
Yeah, 2016.
Oh. Bautista, man.
And there's like UFC fighters pop up in all the small roles and stuff. Awesome. It's real bad. It was. I found it almost completely void of any entertainment value.
Wow.
Like even on a Corey level where I can kind of sometimes
you can go, wow, that was badass.
Like think, there's some cool moments in that. I just found very little to enjoy in it.
Wow, okay.
I felt bad for Bautista though because I feel like he was trying to do something. It was
fair deal.
It was a really kind of interesting performance. I don't know if it was because
he's trying to just punch out of the level with Guardians, and then he was the Bond villain. He was the Bond henchman villain. Yeah. Like, he's getting there.
He's trying to do some stuff.
Getting there. Yeah.
Which I like. I'm just going to smash through his last couple.
Okay, go.
Ninja Assassin.
Hilarious.
Which I quite enjoy. I think is a really good time at the movies. The script is awful.
Yeah.
Like, beyond awful.
Yeah.
There are some performances that are one-take wonders, clearly. They clearly just got on set and read them and they were just went, that'll do.
Right.
But I think... Aside from the CGI blood, but this was when it was very early CGI blood, so I don't think it was used almost as like a technique choice.
Blades CGI blood.
Yeah, exactly. Like so, you're not fooling anyone into thinking it's real blood. But I think when it is serving an actual kind of purpose, creatively as a design choice, I don't mind it as much. And it definitely is in this because you couldn't do what they do in this movie without CGI blood because there is not enough fake blood in the world for it. It's bonkers. Speaking of a film that you can enjoy its fight scenes, fucking Ninja Assassin.
Oh, okay.
We watched Burn After Reading, which is a weird kind of quirky Coen brothers where I just don't...
My least like Coen brothers.
Liked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far for me. I think there's been others that I've enjoyed less, but...
Okay.
And even their worst films are still...
I'm not saying that it's not, it's just not that at the level of...
Maybe something like Intolerable Cruelty, I think I maybe didn't like very much.
Or Lady Killers.
I've never seen Lady Killers. Yeah. But Burn After Reading has some really excellent moments, and I watched it with my partner, Emma, and there is a moment about an hour into that film that... is a great spoiler about that film.
If you haven't seen it, come on, people.
Well, I don't know if I want to spoil it though.
Really? How long has Burn After Reading been out? Oh, it's a big like plot point spoiler.
Huge,
all right,
and it changes the tone of the film, I think, as well.
Fair deal.
But I knew it was coming because I'd heard about it previously,
right.
and I had no idea, and she lost her mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And it was actually, it was really funny. She was mixing, like, she was laughing, but it was almost like in shock about
it was a scared, I don't know how to react.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God.
I don't know how to react to what I've just seen.
Awesome.
And the last one I'll talk about was The Fundamentals of Caring, which was a Netflix original movie with Paul Rudd looking after a disabled, early 20-year-old guy.
Yeah. And I love that actor. I'm going to say
it's the kid from Submarine.
Yeah. You have to.
I can't remember
his
name
is a terrible name.
It's just a very normal name.
Yeah.
It won't mean anything to you. It's like Michael George or something.
No, it's worse than that. It's like Craig. It is Craig Roberts.
Craig Roberts. Yeah, there you go.
He doesn't deserve that. He will always be known as Oliver Tate to me, and that's his name in Submarine. How good was that?
I really enjoyed it. I think there was.
Movie.
I think there's. It was potentially almost like a grand slam. I just think they couldn't nail some of the. They didn't nail some of the emotional moments 100%. They went a bit too over the top for him. Yeah. But it was the smaller moments in that I really, really adored.
So funny.
And
so funny.
Yeah, really, really funny too. Really, really funny. A really nice approach to the disabled
caring
person genre.
Yeah.
Like this is you think of like your Rain Mans and you like the movies where
I Am Sam. Or
this movie is really comfortable making fun of.
Well, it is.
Well, not making fun of it, but finding the lightness in it and laughing.
What comes with those disabilities?
Yeah, exactly. There's a running gag where the guy who is the disabled one has a fakes choking on a piece of food multiple times during the film, and every time it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because he plays it. He plays it out. Like he really plays it out, which is and so you feel almost bad laughing, but it's just it handles it really well. I think. There's just some moments that it gets a bit too sappy.
And Paul Rudd, man.
Paul Rudd is fucking. And if anyone else had been that role, wouldn't have worked. And also shout out to Selena Gomez, who I thought was excellent in it as well.
Oh, yeah, she was in it, wasn't she?
Yeah, and she was really great. And I unexpectedly so, when I saw that she was in it, I was like, oh, here we go.
I know, right?
And I thought she was excellent, so that was great. Anyway, that's
I've watched one more, but I'm going to leave it for next week because it's a meaty talk for me because this movie means a lot and it's been a long time coming.
Well, I mean, I could have... None of these were really warranted meaty discussion, I didn't think. I mean, that's a lie. That's not fair.
That's all right.
There were a few there that we could have had really meaty chats about, but...
And we might.
We might at one time or another.
Further down the line.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Hey, man.
Shall we...
Feature presentation time.
And now for our feature presentation.
Well, here we are.
Yeah.
1986.
Oh.
Little movie with puppets.
Mid-80s, people.
It's important because... Okay, so we were about 3 or 4. 5?
Yeah, man.
4, 5.
6.
When this came out.
We were 5. 4 or 5.
4 or 5. So... Obviously, I don't think I saw it when I was 4 or 5.
To start off, though, Tys, do you have... Do you have a sense memory with this?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah?
Even and look, I don't tend to watch it very much anymore. It's been I think I've maybe watched it once in the last 10 years or so.
Oh wow.
But clearly I had watched it a lot as a kid because
you knew everything.
I knew every beat, and so I think it's one of those movies that I forget maybe how much I watched as a kid.
Oh, okay. This is the movie I like to watch once a year.
Yeah, I'm definitely not at that level of it.
I've seen this movie. It's in the hundreds, like because of childhood and all that stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, see, and in my head, I think maybe I must have watched it like a lot.
Yeah,
because every moment was this bit. Yeah, this bit.
Yeah.
Like there was not a single surprise in it,
exactly.
And that kind of. So we're talking like at least 10 times, and. Yeah, thinking about me as a kid, thinking about me now is that I have a real thing where I try really hard because there are so many movies that I know I want to watch.
Yep.
When I can watch a movie that I haven't seen before, I will tend to do that unless I'm in a really particular mood where I just want something that I know I like. For some reason, I watched Dracula 2000. Like, that is, I think, maybe the third time I've seen that
I
movie.
will never watch Charlie's
things.
Angels again, ever.
I've seen Charlie's Angels a lot of times.
Ever.
I used to have it on VHS.
Yeah. Well, we used to play it at the video store.
Yeah. Oh, it was a good one for video stores.
It was a good one for the video store.
And so, I mean, if I do the math on it, it must be at least 20 times. But I reckon 18 of those 20 times came before I was 16.
Right, okay.
Because I'm fairly certain I haven't seen it in the last 10 years.
Okay.
Until, well, maybe once in the last 10 years. And then I watched it, a couple of nights ago.
Oh, all right. Well, this is... I own 3 copies of this film.
3 copies?
Yep.
That is excessive.
1 DVD, 2 Blu-rays because the...
2 Blu-rays?
2 Blu-rays because the arseholes brought out the 25th... that's 25th edition or something like that.
Yeah, it would have been 25th.
That came out with the original illustrated... Or it would
have been 30th last year.
30th. Yeah, I think it was 30th because it came out last year.
Yeah, right.
But it came out with the original illustrated cover, and I'm a sucker for illustrated covers.
Well, yeah, that's a good...
Anything with non-floating heads... Yeah. You can tell by the posters that I like.
Is that the white one? With the white one? That's the drawn one? I didn't mind the purple one that was on the other DVDs. It's not great, but...
Sucks. It's floating heads.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why I like to... The posters that I put up on the Facebook, I'll put anything but the original if it's floating heads.
Yeah, sure.
Unless it's something like Labyrinth, where there is no alternate poster because the original is the best.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? But yeah, what you were saying before really resonates with the CG blood. What were you talking about? Because
that I don't mind it if it feels like it's a technical choice.
But it resonates. So if you feel it, if it's something there that you can touch and is tangible.
Oh yeah.
Which I feel that is puppets. There's major that is
that was when we were talking about The Thing.
Massive. Yeah. Oh, The Thing. That's right.
So
but yeah, something to do with. Something more magical with puppets in this movie.
Yeah, I agree.
And while I was thinking of this, because this is such a big movie of my childhood, and puppets and all that stuff, do I think this because... Do we think this, Tyson, because we were born in the 80s? Like, this is what I can't wait to ask my son once he becomes of age, and I say, does the Labyrinth... have that much importance to you because you would have watched it as much as I did as a kid? Or does CG have that magic? Like, does Pixar have that like not animation, but does CG have that? Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's interesting. Like, I think maybe we're starting to get to a point where kids born now will maybe experience that with CGI. But if you were a kid born in like 1998, CGI was shithouse.
Yeah. So what is your magic?
Your magic, they would have to go to the puppets. I think puppets and real practical effects would blow their minds.
Maybe catch an episode of Muppets Tonight.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I love that fucking show.
Yeah.
But then again, it's the same thing. Like when you think about, imagine if you were in a coma from the 60s, and the first thing you saw was like fucking Transformers.
Oh, Jesus.
You would lose your mind. You would have a heart attack.
Yeah.
Immediate heart attack.
Rise of the Planet of the fucking Apes. Like, Jesus, there is a monkey.
That is a legit monkey.
That is a
fucking monkey, man. And it's shooting that stuff.
That's intense.
Yeah,
like,
so,
you would think
it comes, I guess it comes in waves. But yeah, I guess it's, I feel sorry for the kids that were kind of, I guess, born from 95 to 2005.
I just hope that they had parents that showed them... showed them
because their parents would be us, our age. So yeah, I would guess so.
The kids born in 95.
Oh no, that's not true. That wouldn't be us.
That's not true at all, Tyson. It could be
getting to town early.
You could have had kids at how old were we in 95? 13. Oh no! Ooh, it's a bit young. Bit young for that. Bit young.
What was it? What are those? 16 and pregnant show or whatever.
Oh, Jesus!
Good
horrible.
times.
Was that
Or that Larry Clark film, Kids, where they're all just running around fucking each other.
Oh, I don't like that movie.
No.
But Labyrinth. I went from a hard R movie to Labyrinth.
That is a hard R movie, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Labyrinth.
Tys.
Okay. Well, look, I might be the slight dissenting voice, I think.
Ooh, okay.
Because I feel like, I don't discount just how valuable this is to my childhood, I guess.
Right.
And also on a design technical level, I think it's a fucking marvel.
Yeah.
But
So,
I don't think it's
here
a
we go.
particularly great film.
Okay.
I
Go
didn't deliberately look for faults or anything,
No.
but the fun time I have in this film is more based on its nostalgic value than on the film itself.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Do you
it's
feel
more,
that-
I like this bit. Not,
Yeah.
this bit is good. I'm not engaged.
Okay.
Yeah?
Do you feel that that's because you've seen it that many times?
Maybe. But for me this time, like when I said before that everything was like, it wasn't a surprise anymore.
Yeah.
Still going from scene to scene was like I couldn't tell you the order that things happen in, but once they did happen, I knew what scene we
here we
were.
are, yeah.
If you know what I mean. So there were
yeah.
still surprises to be had.
Yeah.
I just think on a narrative level, I think it's pretty weak. I don't love everything that these performances are doing either. Yeah, I've got
Okay. You got some gripes.
I've got some
All
gripes.
right. Well, let's start. We
But
can start
that doesn't mean it's not an exceptionally creative film, and I think you just kind of
It
celebrate
is, yeah.
those elements of it.
Absolutely.
And I think it's been even longer since I've seen Dark Crystal, to be honest. I've watched it when I was a teenager, and I haven't gone back since then. But I've got a feeling that I'm going to like Dark Crystal more.
Yeah.
Just because
It is a bit. It's a lot darker.
I don't want it to be just because it is darker. I feel like this might almost be trying to do too much as well.
Labyrinth.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's got some lofty ambitions that I'm not sure. In a narrative sense, I'm not sure it hits the mark on all of them.
For me, this is, and that's. It's funny that you say that. I'm not. I guess I really haven't looked at performance-wise. No, actually, no. I'm going to stick by it. No, performance-wise, I do. I love every element of this this movie. Really, every element. There isn't a drop. There's no part which I know is a big thing for me. If I'm watching, especially a movie that I've watched this amount of times, if I go to make a cup of tea and don't pause, you obviously still haven't engaged me.
Oh yeah,
at this point.
Good call. That's not a bad way to judge it, to be honest.
Yeah. So I never do that with this movie. If anything, I'm up and dancing with the movie, and then it's this part, and then I love looking for something that I haven't seen before in the Masquerade Ball or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know how we should tackle this.
That's all right. That's I like. We're not going to go. Let's just go anywhere.
No, I don't want to go beat by beat or anything like that. But let's talk. I want to talk about
Let's talk about David Bowie.
Should we start with Bowie?
Let's start with Bowie.
Okay. Why not?
This movie stars David Bowie in one of probably the best.
It's an iconic performance.
You couldn't have this movie without David Bowie.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. His contribution to it is obviously really important. It's. Even though he didn't write the score, the flavor of his music runs through the score.
Absolutely.
He wrote all these songs for it.
Yeah.
And so, the score kind of takes elements from his songwriting processes and his producing and just his instrumentation and stuff. I actually really like the score a lot. I think it's really fucking great. That theme with the guitar kicking in. It's very cool.
Yeah. So it was going to be, in watching the new Blu-ray with its new features. Yeah.
New features.
It was either going to be Michael Jackson, Mick Jagger, or David Bowie.
Yeah, sure. And look,
Bowie pushed for him to be.
It's the best choice by far.
Oh, absolutely. This with Mick Jagger just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work with Mick Jagger. It could potentially work with MJ because...
Yeah.
Well, and this is... Okay, so this is part of it that we can then talk about.
Yeah.
Because it's impossible to have Bowie do something because I think just based on who he is...
Yeah.
It's impossible to have Bowie in this and not have that role become sexualized in some way.
Yes, I can see. I can see what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are obviously elements that add to it. Like when everyone fucking knows that you can basically trace his dick through the pants that he's wearing.
Sure.
But having someone like Bowie dressed up like that, it's obviously you can't help but avoid the Ziggy Stardust comparison,
sure.
And he's
a man of magic.
He's a flamboyant, sexualized character.
Sure.
Yeah. And so I'm not sure if it hurts the film at all, but I find that there are moments during this that because that is in kind of an inherent quality of Bowie at this time, parts that I don't think were meant to feel sexual are sexual.
Yeah.
And
especially at the start introduction of him.
Yeah.
You feel that it's a bit, which is weird because she is 14.
Yes,
in this movie, and he's clearly like 35.
It's funny because I was spent the movie and I was kind of thinking to myself, I'm like, well, is this a female sexuality metaphor? Is that what is this what this movie kind of sets out to do?
Yeah.
Is it like?
Is it a coming of age story of sexuality more so with Sarah rather than? Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it like that. It could be, but I don't see it.
The only reason I'll also back that up is because that masquerade ball is total sexy. Like, it's deliberately so, I think.
Yeah.
I think there's no way to avoid that not being sexy. Yeah. I don't mean like sexy because she's 14 and stuff, but the way it's blocked,
but
it's
meant
sexual. He's hiding behind masks, and it's all very. She's lost. It's all very grim fairy tale kind of style.
He's almost courting her in a dark way. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So so I'm kind of. I mean, I think it's obviously got this kind of, it's the coming of age story, but and it uses that as its metaphor, blah blah blah. But I think because you've got a girl protagonist, it then takes it to this other level that then only gets amplified even more
with him
by having Bowie there,
right?
Yeah, which I'm not saying it makes it good or bad.
Good.
It was just an interesting
different element.
It just made a really interesting viewing this time because I was kind of like, wow, and then you see little things like. Like, so for instance, just go with me for this.
God,
right?
Here we go.
Let's say, for instance, that the masquerade ball is essentially metaphor for sexual encounter. A female's first sexual encounter.
Sure.
I find it really interesting that the next scene is...
Her in the trash.
Her in the trash that leads her to her own room, except... It's not her own room.
Oh, wow.
And in my head, I was kind of like, it's like...
It's her own room.
Going back to her room, but now it's not the same anymore, and she can't go back to these things that were her childhood things because she's
become a woman.
Is that And it's like it's this fake version of it. And as much as you try to hang on to, even maybe it's not even like just sexual encounter. It could even be like a metaphor for like an assault of some description.
It could be
like
something bad.
But this is I don't know if it's. I'm just kind of. I was watching it and I was just kind of like,
I like it. No, it's a good. It's a good subject to bring up.
Well, I think it's because it's obviously. Yeah, these are just the things that I think by having a female and Bowie that you are kind of unavoidable.
It's very adult looking at Labyrinth. Adult way to look at Labyrinth.
Okay, this is the kind of the spot I was in because in my head I was like, okay, so if there was a boy, right? If it was a boy, it would be pretty much clearly just coming of age story.
Sure.
Like,
I don't see it as. I understand. I see it as a different coming of age story. This one though, in Labyrinth, I see it as her. Outgrowing her toys. You always get to that point where, well, no, I'm not going to play with my He-Mans anymore because I'm a little bit older.
Yes,
I'm a little bit too old.
And I do like elements of that, but I especially like jumping straight to the ending. I actually think it's probably the strongest moment in the film.
Yeah,
is that she's not afraid to say,
I still want to be a kid sometimes.
Yeah, I still need you sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I think that's exactly it. It's that she still needs to be able to imagine those things. Like to have that kind of childhood imagination, that childhood whimsy, if you will.
And I think for the audience, that's a really nice part of it, skipping straight to the end.
Yeah.
Really nice part of it because we all get balled up in our job, money, paying rent, bills and taxes and all that bullshit. Where for an hour and 40 minutes, this is pure imagination, this movie.
Yeah,
where
100%.
Sometimes you have to let yourself go and just...
Yeah, and I actually, that really kind of struck a chord with me, is that little bit at the end as well, because it's like, you know what, sometimes... And, for me, it's something else. For me, it's like, my thing is watching... like a Marvel movie,
or
playing a video game, or something that they are my moments where it's like, no, I need to just be a kid for a bit and feel the excitement of seeing Captain America, or or winning a game on my Xbox, because that's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that really struck a chord. And I think that was really nice.
Yeah. I find
you could have that with a boy.
You could.
Like, it would be exactly the same.
You totally could.
With a girl, it changes things. It puts things kind of
because
in a
Bowie is
perspective.
there, yes.
And because Bowie is such
agree.
a dominant sexual presence.
But how good is Bowie's character?
It's a really interesting character.
There is the more that I watch this, and I've watched it a lot, I side with him. Not that there's sides, but I take... I
That's really
like
interesting.
Yeah, I like his character more. I feel that there are more layers to him
There are more layers
than is shown.
I would agree with that.
He's a dark, lonely character who's fallen in love with Sarah and kind of uses all his powers to fulfill her fantasy.
So what do you
of
mean
adventure?
fallen in love with her? Like,
I think if okay, this is going to bring up a question later that I have, right?
Yeah.
But if the Goblin King is real.
Yeah.
Because that's a whole nother thing. This whole thing may be a dream.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. If he is real, she called him, he took the baby.
Yeah.
But because of the interaction at the start, which was very sexual, as you said, he kind of, well, she's very gorgeous and, all of that stuff. And a little bit of love there. And then it kind of just... manifests and grows into something that I think...
Like romantic love.
Massive romantic love, yeah.
Interesting.
That's a little dark sometimes, that turns a corner and is not as nice as, I don't know...
Well, it can't be nice because it's kind of...
he is the villain. Like, he has taken a child.
And it's taking advantage of...
And it's taken advantage of
someone younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting.
So I feel that it's almost like a Lolita type deal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is it because maybe do you think it's got some, like, he's in love with the innocence of her? Maybe.
I don't know.
Like it could
be
the purity of it, something that is so pure that that hasn't been tarnished.
Yeah.
Or something. Maybe.
Yeah, it could be that, or it could be the fact that he has these powers, but he's alone with goblins the whole time.
Yes, well,
do you know what I mean?
This was the funny... I wanted to bring that up as well. What's he doing with the baby? Because the baby turns into a goblin. There's a lot of goblins.
It's just a slave.
Why does he want to turn that baby into a goblin? Why not knowing full well the lengths that she will go to get it back? Why not just go, just have it. I've got enough goblins anyway. Because
he wants another one. He is king. He's the Goblin King.
Okay.
This is what he does.
Sure.
Why does that 101 Dalmatians chick make a coat out of Dalmatians? Who knows these things?
It's just because I remember sitting there thinking that end result...
Yeah. Turns into another goblin.
Was kind of... not really a result.
Yeah, but as a kid, you're like, no.
No, of course. You don't want... It's like, oh, no, he's going to become a goblin.
Oh, no. Look at that one. That one is hideous.
Yeah, but there was some that were so cute as well.
Yeah.
But I always...
No,
it's almost like he's providing... he's providing a service as the Goblin King. Part of this ritual is that if she says, by the way, the most entirely generic phrase...
Oh, go on.
What is it that...
Goblin King.
No, it's not. When they said, oh God, I've written it down. I just said such a plain phrase, not magical at all. It's just something like, it was before the Goblin King stuff. There was something. Remember how she turns off the light and turns around? I wish they would take you away or something. I wish the goblins would take you away, and turns off the light, and that's the phrase. And I'm like...
That's the phrase? Anyone could say that.
You could just stumble across that by accident.
You really could. I wish the goblins would come and take you away now.
That's it, right now. And I'm like, there's nothing nothing fancy
magical about
that. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So is he just simply providing us the service that her imagination or the book or the character that he is just does in any circumstance? So if those words let's say that is not the first time these words have been spoken, because of course they haven't.
Yep.
He's just doing what he would always do. You get 13 hours. Here's my juggle balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can try.
Give it a shot.
And then she just shows particular excellence at
I feel that there would be a darker version of this where all of those goblins used to be babies. All the girls or boys, for that matter, who have gave up their babysitting rights and said, "I don't want this kid," you know. I want to see those. I want to see the victims of the Goblin King. How fucked is that?
See that, yeah. But see, maybe that's like what this. I mean, maybe that's what this movie needed a little bit.
No, it doesn't. Not for a PG Jim Henson movie.
Because there's some other pretty fucked up stuff in it.
Yeah, it is because it's the 80s, Tyson, and this is
I
where
think kids could handle that. I think kids could handle that threat.
No way!
Yeah.
That's way too much. No,
Okay.
too much.
I don't know. I saw some pretty fucked up shit when I was a kid in the 80s. And I'm doing okay.
It's because you watched RoboCop way too early, Tyson.
Jesus, man.
Way too early.
What happened to his arm? The bit where he puts his hand on his wrist and just shoots his hand off. And I'm like, as a kid, I'm just like,
boom! Yeah. Scary as hell. Scary as hell, that movie.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. Yeah, look, this is... Yeah. I find, yeah,
Can I... Actually, this has brought up a good question.
Sure, man.
Oh, it's been a while since The Dark Crystal, hasn't it? Well, this is where me and my wife have talked about this for a while. Just what age would you let your kids watch a certain movie?
Sure.
So it could be anything. This isn't that bad. The Dark Crystal...
No, this is fine because I think the heavier elements to it would go over their heads.
Exactly.
Anyway. Yeah.
The Dark Crystal, on the other hand, is a little different. The same with The Neverending Story that I just watched recently. Like...
yeah, Neverending Story, I always had a bit of... I found the wolf really scary, and it took me a while to get comfortable with that scene where he talks to him right towards the end.
Towards the face, yeah. But the thing is, how old were you when you watched that? Do you remember?
You know, probably 5 or 6.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you think that was too young?
No, I don't...
Okay. So you would let your kids watch The Neverending Story at 5 or 6?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Because the thing is, like...
Because they're not all like... They're not going to be like me, and... They could be, but, you know, the fact of the matter, like... It's okay to feel that way about...
Yeah, exactly.
Things.
You kind of want them to have those dark, scary elements so that you're like, well, no, not everything is, you know, Dora the fucking Explorer.
Yeah. You know? Like, stories can be dark and stories can
it's fine.
Challenge you. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So, and look, if if it's really upsetting, I'll be there. You know,
exactly.
It's the same with me. I was like, no, I don't want to watch this, and Mum would go, all right, come out in the kitchen with me,
okay.
You know, and like stuff like that. And then Dad would say, it's finished. You can come back in now. That part's over. Yeah. And I'd come back in when the world starts crumbling.
Oh, nice.
And you know.
Okay.
Like, it was honestly just that one bit with the wolf. And there were a couple of films that were like that, where it was just that one bit that I was like, nope, can't watch that.
I'm out.
Would go out and come back in.
Fair deal.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, fair deal. Well, this is what me and my wife talk about now. Things like that, and things like she's allowing our son to watch Fight Club at quite a young age, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm okay with that because I know how boys are dumb.
Yeah, if you let him watch that at too young an age, he'll treat it as like a textbook to how to be a douche.
Yeah, how to be a massive fucking douche, and my son is not going to be a douche.
That's what everyone says.
I know, right? Oh, Jesus. But every kid goes through a douche stage.
Well, do you know what? At a certain age, they won't even like a movie like Fight Club. Exactly. Like, you show that to an 8-year-old kid, and they're just like, what the fuck is this?
8? Jesus, Tyson.
No, I'm just saying. They wouldn't want to watch it because there's nothing in it.
There's nothing in it for them.
To appeal
but
to
I'm
them.
talking about 13, 14, way too young.
I think I was
not mentally ready.
Well, it came out in 99,
so
we
were 18.
Yeah, 17, 18. Okay,
yeah, we were ready for that.
Yeah.
But good talk.
Good talk.
Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly is fine in this. Yeah.
She's good.
She's.
This is where my love of Jennifer Connelly came from. You don't think good?
I don't think I could go as far as saying that she's good. I think she's fine.
She's fine.
She does what like a lot of kids
she was 14.
roles would do in this kind of position where it's just you've just got to have a convincing awe face. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but at least she's better than Hagrid. What is that? Like every 5 seconds?
That's poor little fucking Radcliffe. He got better.
He did get a lot better.
Yeah, I'm not saying like she's, but you know, I don't see this and see like she's going to be a star, kid. Like, that's not what I see from it at all. I just kind of go, yeah, great. She's effective. She can talk to puppets and make it seem like that they're actually there.
Okay.
And
that's all right.
And that's all you need. That's all you need
Yeah.
from a role like this.
Yeah.
I think some of her, some of the meatier stuff that she has to do, especially, and this is, I think, where I have some confusion in this film is because I don't think she really thematically is on board either.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? I think she's just reading what she's been given. They put her in a dress, and it's just kind of like, all right, I'm doing this thing.
Yeah.
And it gives it that really kind of airy quality. It gives her like this breeziness that I think
she's okay with everything that's going on, sort of thing.
Yeah. Because I would have liked her to kind of dig her teeth in a little bit more towards the end, especially.
Yeah. No, I believe you in. Sorry, I agree with you in some instances, but I think some instances she really comes up to bar with what she's given. Like her being able to go toe to toe. Not that Bowie is like up there with his acting, known for his acting skill.
It's the same thing with Prestige. He just carries a certain mystery that
knows what he's
makes
doing.
Things really effective.
But just that masquerade ball scene where it is, whether the romance or whatever is happening there between them, if you look at her face, she is fully into it. She is fully committed with whatever's going on.
Yeah, but what is going on?
Exactly.
That's the thing.
But that's great.
I think they've effectively gotten her to just go. I think she's got that kind of look.
Okay.
I think she does that look really well.
Oh, okay.
The look of. I think we interpret her look.
Right.
It's that exercise about with someone's blank face.
Yep.
Someone saying that person's happy, that person's sad. It's the same face, but we interpret it. We put out because they're blank faces. Yeah, I think we put our interpretation of what's happening in those scenes onto her.
Okay.
Which is great, which is perfect.
Yeah.
But that's what, they just happen to, that's effective.
No, I think she's there. I think she's
that's interesting.
A little bit more credit than you give her for.
No, it's not about taking credit away from her. I think, because I think that's very hard to do.
Yeah.
To be able to,
it would have been fucking intimidating too, just to be in a room with Bowie. Not that she knew who he was.
Yeah, she probably wouldn't have given a fuck.
No, she didn't know.
His 80s Bowie was not. He was kind of in the wilderness a little bit.
It was a bit. It wasn't the Thin White Duke stage, was it? It was the.
I'm not the best. I know, but because if you think of if you go Bowie must have, it's kind of singles.
Ziggy.
There's not really much in the 80s.
There's not much in the 80s.
That midpoint of the 80s.
But yeah. Moving on, Tys.
Yeah, well, okay.
Is this whole thing a dream?
Okay, yeah. So let's bring it. So they lend that argument. I think needs to be considered the actual argument.
It does.
I think as much as the
just
story,
because of that start shot of her bedroom.
Yeah, because of everything that's in the bedroom. I think you just have to accept that it is she is making this up.
Yeah.
As a way to pass the time, I guess.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Going from that very start where she's in the park and performing a play or whatever she's doing. I still don't know what she's doing, actually.
So, we have to assume that she's probably not a very popular girl.
Maybe.
I don't think she's got a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And this is a
and
generalization.
That's the thing from the stepmother saying, well, why don't you go on some dates? You should have dates. A girl your age.
Exactly.
And she deserves to get beaten for saying that shit. Who says that? Don't
say that. A girl your
that.
age. How dare you not have a husband?
You should be having dates at a girl your age.
I don't know, man. If my
Mum.
kid was 14 and didn't hang out with someone of the opposite sex ever, I think I'd be a little bit kind of.
Should have dates
at
14?
You need to experience people of an opposite gender to you. But yeah. So she's doing this kind of. It's like the boy equivalent of Dungeons and Dragons, I guess. So maybe she doesn't have a lot of friends. So maybe she's
going to make up a fantasy world.
Her fantasy world where she is the powerful one.
Amazing adventure.
Yeah, and is kind of the one that everyone is trying to seek out. She is. The world kind of is revolving around her in that.
Very
world.
ties in with which the book is there, the Wizard of Oz. She's the Dorothy.
Yeah.
She gets whisked away.
And 100%. It's but yeah, I mean, you've got things like even to every single supporting character that pops up is represented there.
Yep.
You've got clothing. You've got the Goblin King. You've even got Bowie in a different
Bowie in a different picture.
Yeah. Which apparently I read somewhere that's her mum, like the character's real mum. She was, and because she's obviously died. That's a stepmom.
Yeah,
the one
that's at the start.
And the man that's in the photo with is Bowie and her mum. And I think they look like they're in like actors' blacks.
Oh, okay.
And
wow.
This is just
hence why she performs the play, because
her mum might have been an actress. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
And this is also really interesting because it means that, well, it makes you think who was the man in the photo.
No, don't go down this path.
But I'm just saying it's interesting that she put that's the man that she put the face on.
Yeah.
The Goblin King.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have I said Goblin Queen a few times so far?
Goblin
Are you
King,
sure? Okay.
Goblin King.
I was about to say Goblin Queen just then, and I'm like, hang on. Hope I haven't said that already.
Goblin King. Do
you know what I mean? That's kind of interesting.
Totally.
This maybe she doesn't know who this man is, but this unknown man who she just knows had a relationship with her mother, whatever relationship it was. Like, I'm not saying that they were banging.
Yeah.
It's just someone that was obviously knew her mother enough to be in a photo with her, and that's the face that she's put on the Goblin King. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah. There is a statue of the Goblin King on her
dresser
as well.
Yeah. But I mean, is that the Goblin King, or is that just a statue of a costume of some description, something that's designed that way, and that's
the costume you see later on him.
That's become the costume for the Goblin King. Look, and it's the poster with all the upside down stairs and everything.
I forget the name of the artist.
Yeah, it's a well-known artist too. I should fucking remember.
But
yeah, so it's. I mean,
you can't not see the similarities. Yeah. So it could be a dream. It could be a dream. It could be a fantasy. Or yes, it could be her making up what's going on.
I think it's.
But I kind of like that it's real because she puts away. You know, you do have that part of your childhood which you don't really. I didn't realize it was happening until it happened, because I don't know what happened. When you put away your toys, you know what happens? You go through puberty and you realize that girls are a thing, and girls aren't going to like the toys that you have. So you think, I better put these toys away.
Or just that want to be cool. Like,
exactly.
That want to be the cool kid.
But
like, it's actually a really kind of amazingly strong drive for a 13, 14-year-old.
Exactly.
Maybe not anymore, but I don't know what it is.
It totally is.
And so, yeah, you're
Nothing
right. Like,
changes.
The idea that a weird goblin guy with big white hair and makeup is probably not cool anymore, and so there's that.
It's time to grow up a little bit and maybe go on some dates.
It's funny though that like, yes, her stepmother will be so proud.
Go out with Toby down the road. You know, give him a date.
That's the kid. That's the baby's name.
That's the baby. Sorry. Go out with Noah down the road.
There you go.
He's nice. He plays the piano.
Yeah. So does that? What does that do to the metaphor though? If she is. Because that means that she's fully in control and makes the choice
to put the toys away.
To basically defeat the Goblin King and grow up, air quotes.
Yeah.
But it's funny because nothing
has changed.
Nothing really has actually changed. So, and this is what's interesting is that the stimulus. What happens to her on her adventure changes her.
Yeah.
But if she is creating that adventure, she has not actually physically changed because
she hasn't done anything.
She hasn't actually physically done anything. So it's kind of interesting because that means that because she wants to get him back straight away. So it's not like even over the course of her fantasy, her belief system or anything changed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of throws the metaphor into
the word. So maybe it does happen. It's real.
Well, then, okay. So sure, why the fuck not? Because it's a movie. Of course, it can be whatever the fuck it wants to be.
Exactly.
Then it becomes even more interesting to why all those things are in her room.
Yeah.
What happened to her mum?
Yeah.
Was her mum like? Did the Goblin King come and live in the real world for a year? Romance her mum.
Whoa, that's a bit full on. I didn't think of that.
Maybe Ludo is her mum.
Whoa!
But you know what I mean? Like,
I totally.
It can be real because it's a fucking movie. Who cares?
Exactly.
It can totally be real.
Absolutely.
But yeah, then it just all of a sudden all those things that are in the start, kind of become a bit
weird.
Yeah. Interesting.
I have to bring up something.
By all means, go for it.
So one thing that you have to talk about if you're going to talk about this movie is Jim Henson as a creator. So Jim Henson, I'm a big believer in Jim Henson. Whatever that means. I wrote it down. It sounded good at the time. But yeah, like Dark Crystal, Labyrinth, The Storyteller.
The Storyteller. Yeah.
And the Muppets, whatever carnation of the Muppets.
Yeah.
They were a very big part of my childhood.
Yeah, sure.
Like Muppets and everything. So, and in my opinion, Jim Henson is comparable to other great creators of this world. So his name is just as big for me.
Yeah.
As Spielberg or Cameron or
I would agree with that.
Or even in the realm of artists like Picasso or Michelangelo.
Yeah, right.
Like he is that high for me.
Yeah,
because
I'd pay that. Why not?
Exactly. Like just looking at this movie or anything that he does.
Yeah,
you know. It's the finer detail in absolutely everything from character to set design to the puppets themselves. Like if you were to say the word puppets, what's the first name that comes to your mind?
Of course, yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, we don't think of his creations as people with their hands in something.
No, these are
Kermit
living things.
Is a real thing.
Real thing, yeah. It's a
real thing. And like you think of like lots of different people have played the voice and things like that.
Yeah, it just changed recently.
But
Did you say
I
that?
saw some article. The guy, he was going to stop doing it. But we don't think of him as like part-time people who have
it's a job
occupied his body for a certain period of time. It is exactly. Kermit. Kermit is a thing.
Is a person.
Like it's a living, breathing thing that and it's tangible. And I don't think we feel that way about any kind of CGI creations.
No,
because we know.
Is Buzz Lightyear real to you?
No, because we.
No. Because you've seen Miss Piggy through different things. You've seen her in
crossed over different, and like it's not even. We've seen real people talking to them, so
exactly
that's a big part of it as well. Like not in films. I'm talking like. On like an interview,
the Muppet Show.
On the Muppet Show, or on other like interview shows, like Good Morning America. They're like, and today we've got Kermit and Miss Piggy, and they're like, they're sitting on the couch, and it just adds to the realism of that. Like we really believe that shit,
absolutely.
So I 100% the characters in this don't feel like puppets to me.
Amazing. So it's just for me like creating such a detailed world with characters with great personalities like sure you can take the big ones like Ludo and Sir Didymus, but even the side characters like the worm and
the little worm
at the start, and one of my favorites is the doors, the truth and lies doors.
Yeah.
They're my favorites. Like
she gets that right, by the way. Yeah. She solves that correctly.
This is another Die Hard with a Vengeance thing for me.
No, it's true. Every time I get to it, I try to figure it out.
And
I think she gets it right.
Does she?
Well, the way she explains
she falls down the thing.
But I think it just doesn't matter.
Either way, she's fucked.
Yeah, I think it was just one of those either way she's fucked kind of things. Because I remember, in my head, I'm like, yeah, she's got a point there.
Well, in the extended script, the doors with the deaf and the one with the mouth.
Yeah.
She goes through both in the script in the book.
Yeah, well, you didn't need that.
It was too long.
Yeah.
But sorry, one more.
No, go for it.
One more thing was was what I wanted to talk about was the set design in this. So when you talk about detail, for me, it's set design. For me, it's doing its job if it doesn't distract you from the story.
Yeah,
but enhances it. And this accomplishes that with high level of detail.
Yeah, like for sure. Absolutely.
It is intense.
I love the designs of this.
Yeah. But just
the matte paintings.
Like the little...
matte paintings.
Oh, matte paintings.
They're the best.
But just the little details, Ty. So the sequence I wanted to talk about was just quickly.
Yeah.
Is you see 4 different set pieces in about 5 minutes. So going from the oubliette, right?
Oh,
The
yeah.
so
No,
the
this is my favorite as well.
So the oubliette, you see, it looks almost wet. The walls look wet.
Yeah.
To me, it looks amazing, but it's just almost like glitter on cobwebs or anything. So they leave the oubliette and they go into my favorite is the false warnings. Don't go on.
Oh, I love those guys. They're great.
Go back,
please. I haven't
said it in such a long time. But while they're talking, dust is coming from the edges of their mouth. Like, who thinks of that?
Yeah.
You know, things like that. So then going from the false warnings hall into seeing Bowie, and then the cleaners, the
cleaner
down.
transition is my favorite thing in the film. Throwing the crystal ball, and it becoming the cleaner. I think is my favorite moment in the film.
Oh, it's so 80s too. Do you get that feeling that you don't get that anymore?
No, because it's like
who thinks of that?
Back then they were forced to find the solution.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is what we don't have anymore.
Yeah,
is because the solution is spend money on
pick
CGI.
It up in post.
Yeah, we'll just CGI it in later.
Yeah.
We'll just put a big green screen at the end of this
at
little bit of tunnel that we built, and we'll sort it out from there. Yeah, they had to find the solution.
How are we going to go from David Bowie and the ball to the cleaners coming down? And it's such a beautiful shot.
It's really great. Yeah. I really like it.
So that going from that, the cleaners, they come out and just. In that hall, you don't really look at it, but the cobwebs in that, you don't need to see it. You don't need to focus on it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you see it quickly, and it's gone. And just those little minor details. And then from that, you go up the ladder, and you're in a beautiful green hedge maze.
Yes, it's beautiful. And then
I love it.
One of probably my favorite designed character is the one that they meet there, the bird
hermit
hat guy.
Yeah.
I think that the design on that character is stunning,
so beautiful, and just the contrast of the characters.
Yeah, really great,
so good.
Speaking of, who's your favorite? Who is your favorite character?
That's way too hard.
Way too hard. I have a clear favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Like not even a question. It's Sir Didymus.
Sir Didymus. Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Stop! I say. All that.
I forget until we get there, and he comes out, and it's all and
Ambrosius, all right, you can come out now.
Ambrosius, that's right.
Come on,
so
Ambrosius, be quiet now.
Yeah,
I don't know why we have to be so quiet. It's only a goblin city. I love that. I love him.
Just he's the character they've built for him is so like right up my alley, like the kind of shit that I love, like this old school nobility.
Yeah,
where I'm just, in a character that has no physical strength. Yeah. So and it just makes it so much more important because he's willing to stand up to the biggest villain. He's willing to
jump into the biggest rock
because he is just the most noble of creatures. And I love his little fight with Ludo. How he just, and it's a Muppet thing. It's such a Muppet thing, the way he does the hitting of his shin.
It really is.
Perfect.
And the ears, when he grabs onto the ears and he flips him over. So Muppets. So Muppets.
Yeah, I think he's by far my favourite character.
I think, oh shit. Okay, if I have to be pushed to pick, it is actually the Truth or Lies doors.
Oh, wow, all right. Certain death. They are great. They are great. Yeah. I'll tell you who it's fucking not.
Oh, really?
What's his name?
Oh, go on.
I've forgotten his name.
What? Hoggle?
Hoggle, yeah.
No!
I dislike Hoggle a lot.
Oh, no.
I think Hoggle is...
Oh, I love Hoggle.
Hoggle is
Hoggle, yes. Sorry.
That's why I couldn't remember his name, because I had too many variations in my head.
Because of the joke.
Because of the running gag the whole time. Hoggle's a problem for me. Hoggle, because I feel like...
you don't think he has an arc?
He does have an arc, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad he has an arc, but I feel like he's constantly used as the next turmoil that she'll face. I think it happens.
Then what do you mean?
As in, because Jareth basically essentially keeps grabbing him and saying, no, you've got to do this, you've got to do this, you've got to do this.
Yeah.
Really, the only moments not the only moments, but the majority of turmoil in the film is because of something Hoggle has done.
Oh, okay.
And to me, I get frustrated by that, and I get kind of over it.
You want other,
I like the apple because I think it's
peach.
The peach.
Yeah.
Because it's clearly representative of an apple, which is why I said the apple.
Yeah.
But that's very important to the story structure.
Yeah.
And I like his redemption. that they work for me.
Yep.
It's the stuff like
a little bit of the start,
like the little bit at the start, the kiss that sends them down the thing, and the you know the like. There's a really great point where she says, "How can I trust you?" And he's like, "Well, what else are you going to do?" I feel like that's almost an audience instruction.
Oh, okay.
Because it's kind of like it's that whole hanging a hat thing. We're all sitting there going, "Yeah, don't trust him."
Yeah.
But because the movie goes, "Oh, what else are you going to do?" We kind of have to go, "Well, fuck. I guess what else are we going to do? We've got no other option. We're going to have to just go with him." Okay. And I don't love that. I feel like they could have found better ways to get to point, and they relied too much on him.
That's true. And I would have loved things a little bit. Oh no, you get them. I was going to say I would have loved things a little bit like one of my favorite sequences is the Bog of Eternal Stench. Like that physically looks like it stinks.
Yeah, it's so well designed. That was something that I remember as a kid. I really just enjoyed the things that go. Yeah, it's disgusting. As a kid, I fucking loved that sick though because
same.
You know,
like that was a thing in our family. I will put you in the Bog of Eternal Stench. Like,
okay, so well, here's something funny. Right?
Go on for it.
This is my childhood mentality here. This is my childhood reasoning skills.
Oh, I love it already. Yeah.
There's a moment where Hoggle says, even if you get any of the Bog of Eternal Stench on you, you will smell the rest of your life. Yes. You will smell terrible. Yeah. Right?
Uh-huh.
She steps on those rocks. And they have got bog all over them.
Yep. So you have to throw the shoes out.
Oh, is that it?
If you get on your skin... you're fucked.
Loophole.
That's how I thought of it.
Well
she has
done.
to throw those shoes out when she gets home.
Little me, he was just like, she's going to stink. She should stink.
Oh, they all stink now.
Yeah.
Ludo, on the other hand, because he has no shoes.
Oh, he stepped on them too. Yeah, Ludo's going to stink.
But
this is my reasoning skills.
That's
as a
good.
Little kid, because I'm pretty sure they weren't.
Yeah.
They're meant to assume that no, they're fine.
Yeah.
But they came out of the bog, and it's not like they put a towel down or anything.
Do you know who was one of the puppeteers for Ludo?
One of the puppeteers? No, I wouldn't know.
Do you know the artist Ron Muick?
Ron Muick? No, I don't.
No, you don't?
No.
You know he does I'm pretty sure it's the same. I could be wrong. I could be dead fucking wrong. Actually, edit this out.
Why don't you just do a quick sneaky googs?
A sneaky googs? Let me check.
Sneaky googs. I like that.
Sneaky googs.
To see if it's the same guy.
Because I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm going to talk about how the Bog of Eternal Stench was always a source of great humour for me and my brother, who seemed to be fascinated with fart humour. The idea of farts and things smelling bad were basically me and my brother's entire humour catalogue for quite a few years of our lives.
Of that,
yeah.
Nowadays, probably best known for his eerie, lifelike sculptures. It is him.
Ah.
So he does massive sculptures of an old man. It's about as big as this room. Oh. You haven't seen them? They've been at the arts. They've been at the arts. Yeah. That's him. Right. So Ron Muick, he puppeteered Ludo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Did you notice one of the red dudes was the voice of Elmo, and he sounded almost exactly the same?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. 100%. Hey, so 100%. Those guys are a problem in this film. It's a bit, it's actually, if I were to make a cup of tea, it would be then. Yes, that is 100% correct. I think that's, if there's actually a moment that on all elements doesn't work.
Yeah.
I think nearly all elements doesn't work. It's that scene.
Oh, it's that scene.
I think, I think.
Hey, lady, take off your ears. You don't need 2 ears.
It actually doesn't. Yeah,
it's a bit weird.
It doesn't do anything narratively.
If anything, be scary.
It's just kind of a. Yeah. And also, this is the thing that I find really interesting is that because it does nothing narratively, to me, it's a clean cut from this film.
It's a chunk.
You can lift it straight out.
Yeah.
It amazes me that watching it and seeing just how much they weren't able to nail the composite effects of putting them on top of the background image.
Yeah.
It amazes me that they said, "Nah, let's keep it like that," and didn't just go, "You know what? This scene hasn't worked. Let's just cut our losses on this one." Yeah. I know it took however many hours to puppeteer it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to work.
Yeah. I do have one last thing that was a bit scary for me. And I want to know if you got the same feeling.
Yeah, so I've got another thing as well after this.
Okay, cool. So the junk lady,
Oh, I like the junk lady.
like junk lady.
I do like her a
So
lot.
when she's in her bedroom, and Sarah's kind of she's eating the peach. She's kind of doesn't know where she is.
Yep.
She thinks she's back home, and the lady starts piling stuff on top of her. Oh, here's Charlie Bear. You need Charlie Bear for you, and puts it on her back, and then another thing on her back, and another thing on her back. Is she turning her into an old junk lady? That's what, in my head, I'm like, run, Sarah! Run! Get the fuck... You know.
That's great.
Because in my head, and you've got a pointing game. You have... And puts it on her back. And more things on her back.
That's cool.
So if
like
she'd let her kept going, the entire contents of that room...
because there's another one too. There's a few like they wandering around.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
It was very scary. As an adult, you see a lot more scary elements.
Yeah, well, I find that. Yeah, I find that scene quite scary for the reasons I was talking about before as well. Because it's like the junk lady is saying, "No, stay here," where it's like pretend land.
Yeah.
So you can pretend everything's fine.
Keep you
because
that's forever.
It's fine. You can just pretend everything's okay.
Which is where, in my head, all the other goblins, all the other kids that have turned to goblins, the people who have been after them are in that junkyard.
Are they the
in
junk
their
people?
own? Yeah,
maybe they're
the junk people. They've been turned into,
and
junk people.
that's why she's so adamant about it. It's fine because that's what they did.
Never go out there, dear.
They're doing it as like it's like they feel guilty for their own giving up and accepting the reality as not as.
This thing is
that's deep.
Really full.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot.
Did you like that? What was your one?
Just one thing, and this is kind of like a storytelling thing, is that because it's her imagination.
Yep.
Right?
Sure.
Let's say it's her imagination. Oh. No, let's go the alternative.
Go on.
Oh, no, either way, this is interesting.
Okay.
I made a point last night. So there's that whole idea of a storytelling element that if you are in a character's POV, right?
Yes.
Which we are very much meant to be in this film.
In Sarah's
POV.
Yeah.
When Sarah is not involved in a scene, that scene therefore should not exist.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
And I feel like we're meant to be very deep in Sarah's POV for this film. So
no. Yeah, okay.
And then it's kind of like, well, is it actually happening?
Yeah.
That's that argument.
Yeah.
And so things like dance magic feel inconsistent to their direction of. It's inconsistent if it is in her head.
Yes, that's true.
If it's really happening, then fucking whatever.
Yeah.
But if it's in her head, it's inconsistent with that because then it's like in her POV, what is she? Is she imagining that that's happening? And if so, why would she imagine such a fun dance where her brother is in no danger whatsoever?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it is quite like it's fun and ridiculous. And where did she come up with this song and like those kind of elements to it?
Yeah, but even the elements like when he's kind of on his own and he has the baby and he's going, "You're a lovely little chap. I think I'll call you Jared."
Yeah, exactly. Little things like that. Where it's, and there are parts that you can kind of break away from that because they look at her through like the magic ball and stuff, and that can be be part of like where she's drawing it in. But it just means that her imagination, if we say that it is her imagination, can write a fucking catchy tune, man.
Bowie tune.
I'd be waking up and I'd be grabbing a pen and paper. I saw my baby crying hard
my baby,
because that is a catchy fucking song, man.
Try.
It's a great song.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Really, really
He
fun.
brought that. He didn't bring. It wasn't that. It was two others that he brought out as actual singles.
The one in the end credits.
No one can blame you.
Yeah.
For walking away.
My favorite one, without a doubt, is the one during the
Masquerade Ball.
No, when he's walking around the staircase.
Dun, 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 dun,
it's just the most interesting to me. And it feels.
I love this.
The thing I really like about Bowie is that he's happy to fuck with musical convention.
Yeah, man.
And he has somehow found a way to make chord changes that seem illogical sound like they were always meant to be there.
Right.
I'm not the world's biggest Bowie fan. I'm the first to admit it.
Right.
I enjoy what most people do, but I'm not the
Not a
Bowie
hardcore,
a lot of people are. But the one thing that I know, that I really respect about him is his songwriting ability was really. It's not the same.
It was ahead of its time.
Well, you could say ahead of its time. I don't think it's not the same as saying like the Beatles songwriting is exceptional, because that is taking what is known and perfecting it.
Yeah.
Bowie is just throwing everything at the wall and somehow it's all sticking. Like that's like,
wow, that's a really good way of putting it.
And and you have to respect that, because it's just kind of like, fuck, man, that's awesome. How did you come up with that shit? And that song is the most clearest representation of that version of Bowie.
Insane.
Because it's just fucking, the melodies all over the shop, the chord changes are so bizarre. There's like, and it's so evocative of a story as well. Like it just works so well. So yeah, I really dig that one.
Do you have a favorite Bowie song? Just quickly.
Favorite Bowie song?
Just out of everything, something that comes to mind.
Like probably.
Go on. It's hard. It is hard.
Life on Mars.
Oh, Life on Mars, really? Yeah. What is mine? I think you know what mine is. Mine is Suffragette City. Oh,
give me a chorus or something.
Suffragette City.
Oh, yeah.
Suffragette City.
Yeah. Do you know why? Because I've never realized that's what he actually says.
Oh, really?
It's just one of those choruses where I'm just like, something's happening. And I've got no idea what's going on. But yeah,
I have no idea what's going on. I'm just boozed up to the nines and I'm loving life. Which is how you should be.
That's a good one.
All right.
Now you got me thinking now, and I really want to.
It's what was the?
I don't think, maybe Space Oddity. I think Space
really?
Oddity. Yeah. Because it's the same. Ashes to Ashes.
See, this is the thing. You got to think. I've thought about this for a while.
Yeah. But I'm like, because mine are all the generic like singles.
No,
like
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's no deep cuts in my Bowie.
I know a few B-sides. One of my favorite B-sides is Andy Warhol, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
Well, yeah.
Should we wrap it there?
That was Labyrinth. I think we did well.
I think we did pretty well.
Yeah.
I think it's one of these situations where I think I've liked it a little bit more after talking about it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I like that a lot.
Not that I didn't enjoy the experience of watching it again. I just think on a narrative level, I think it's got some issues, but. Like I
would love to see what you think of when we do the Dark Crystal.
I'm really excited to watch it again.
Yeah,
but I'm going to choose the right time. I think. I need to be a couple of sheets to the wind, maybe, to really.
What the hell does that mean?
I think it's like. It's a metaphor. It's like I don't think it's meant to represent what I think it represents, but it's like a little couple of drinks down.
Oh, okay.
A few sheets to the wind.
Really? Oh, okay.
I think maybe like a couple of drinks down, maybe like late night.
Really?
Yeah,
oh, okay. Because the Dark Crystal for me is late afternoon. Nick's got a little bit of a flu, but it's going away. Oh. And I watch it then because it's got that warm,
maybe like
warm
a cheeky,
feeling.
a cheeky, a cheeky day off.
Oh, a cheeky
work.
Day off work, yes.
Like a cheeky. I'm a bit sick. I'm in bed.
Yeah, a cheeky day off work now is Captain America, but not anymore. Do you know what's funny? Now that Clark is born, even though him being my son, he's dealing with a lot of loud noises at the moment. His dad is loud.
His dad is
right?
you. Yes.
Exactly. So, but that's I've had to kind of take away my Sonos surround sound just because it's a bit loud. In the lounge room
the
now.
vibrations would be a bit
too jarring for an early boy.
A little one.
So we're watching a lot of dialogue-driven films.
Sure.
So there's Marvel's been put on the back burner for a bit, which is
I look forward to the day when he
I can't wait.
Watch his first.
I can't wait for this kid.
When he says, "Hey, Dad, why am I named Clark?" And here it comes.
Okay, well, we have to sit down for this kid.
Sit down for a few hours.
We have to sit down. Let's go to Dad's comic book collection and
boring. And it's suddenly...
And then he goes, what? Dad, Man of Steel is way better. All right, now you're not my son.
That's it.
Fuck off.
You're out of the will.
You're out of everything.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. Hey, we're going to move on to our next segment.
Crossing the... Oh, that was terrible.
What are you trying to do there?
I don't know what I was trying to do.
It's like the end of the song. Crossing the stream. Yeah.
I like that.
That's like if Poison.
Or Mr. Big.
Or Mr.
I'm the one that wants at the end of that.
Well, let's do it the real way anyway.
Crossing the stream.
Oh, I went a bit loud then. I got a bit of vibration.
No, that was good. I liked it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, good time.
That was good. You were way higher than me. I like it.
I hope I haven't done this one.
What have you got?
I
can tell you.
You can tell me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we have, we'll just start again.
Fair enough.
I'm going to recommend a film. It's from 2004. Oh, Netflix has changed its layout when you click on something. It's a David Mamet movie.
Yeah, cool.
Written and directed, called Spartan. Have I done that one?
No, you haven't.
Great. Val Kilmer stars. 2004, so it's still good time for Val Kilmer.
Oh, okay.
He hasn't turned
Where
into
is
a
Val
weird...
Kilmer gone, man? Come on, the guy had mad chops.
He's real good. He's real good when he cared. I think that was his problem. I think he pissed off too many people, and
I think he's become a hard to work with gentleman.
Yeah. There's a really great Lonely Island digital short that he pops up in.
Oh, okay.
It's something about... I think it's called Best Friends, and it's well worth a watch. We might link that because it's really funny. It's really funny. Typical Andy Samberg, just bonkers. But yeah, Val Kilmer makes a really interesting kind of creepy appearance. Yeah. So this is called Spartan. It's he plays like a secret agent. No, it's kind of like Secret Service agent. But he's kind of military, but like the real kind of deep military where... These people could
undercover, you mean?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
What year was it?
2004.
Oh.
Because there's scenes in their training department where these are the kind of dudes that could put you down with the touch of a pinky, these kind of really fucking crazy dudes.
I like that.
And he is tasked with rescuing an important government official's daughter. We don't find out.
Oh, we don't know.
We don't know who
this
daughter belongs to until quite late in the film. We just know it is someone of importance.
Okay.
And him and his small team. Later. And then we find out later just who she is and why she was kidnapped.
Cool.
It's awesome because David Mamet, he might not be the greatest director, but
I don't mind David Mamet.
As a screenwriter, I fucking love him.
Yeah.
He has a weird way poetry in his writing that just is so irregular. He finds pulse and rhythm and and imagery in these ways that you just would never expect. And so he's right. Not all actors can handle his writing, and that sounds like I'm saying that it's too good for certain actors. It's not that.
No,
it's that there's a certain cadence that makes his dialogue work, and only certain actors, a certain type of actor, can make that sound right. In the wrong hands, his dialogue actually sounds awful, and he has a few movies where you can hear the actors kind of struggle with it to make it sound the right way.
I like that.
Val Kilmer is actually really good at this.
Yeah.
And a couple of other actors. There's a film called Heist, which had Gene Hackman in it, and Gene Hackman was...
I've always wanted to see that.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
I quite liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman is another actor that really nails the Mamet cadence. And I mean, when you listen to something watch Glengarry Glen Ross.
And Wag the Dog. I remember that the dialogue in that was...
Baldwin just fucking... Alec Baldwin, he's got it. He knows it. Yeah. And so this is... I really enjoy this film. It's not... it's not groundbreaking or anything, but you go into it and it keeps you on the edge of your seat. The dialogue just has this really odd rhythm to it, and it kind of entrances you after a little while.
Yeah.
And it, you feel kind of a little bit hypnotized as you watch it. And then the action sequences kind of towards the end are really pretty impressive.
Okay.
And it's one of those films where there's not we're not talking clear good guys and bad guys. We've got questionable kind of protagonists.
Yep.
Val Kilmer's character isn't the shining knight in shining armor. That's what I meant to say. Shining knight armor. Yeah. He's a bit interesting kind of character. There's some really cool subplots with really well drawn out secondary characters. It's well worth a watch. It kind of drifted on the radar. No one gave a fuck about this movie, but I really like it.
Okay.
And it was actually might have been not the first Mammoth movie that I watched, but probably a really. Because I was, 2004, because I was only 22 or something.
Oh, no, because did he direct Ronan?
No, that was Frankenheimer.
Yeah.
He might have written it, I don't know.
No, he wrote it.
He did write it? Yeah, no, I haven't seen Ronan. I've never seen Ronan.
You've never seen Ronan?
Yeah, it's just one of those ones I've just slipped through the cracks.
It's on the list. It's on the list.
Yeah. So I think Spartan might have been the first Mammoth I actually saw because...
Yeah, nice.
Oh, no, he wrote the screenplay for Untouchables. So
yes, he did.
Yeah, I've seen that. I saw that when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But it kind of started a new love for Mammoth. Yeah. So I went through and watched a few.
A bit higher.
Yeah, and it was also, there's a book of his called On Theatre or Theatre, which I have, and it's an incredibly entertaining read, and I really recommend it.
Nice.
There you go.
Nice.
Spartan on Netflix.
On Netflix.
Yeah, it might be on a few of them. I think I've seen them on a few, but I'm currently
We're going to
on
go
Netflix.
with Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you got for us, Nicholas?
Sticking with the Netflix, I'm going to do a TV series which I smashed out last week.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Glow.
Oh, cool.
Oh, my God.
I haven't watched any of it yet, but I've heard it's really fun, and I can't wait to watch it.
It was great. It was so good. Like
awesome.
the setting, the script, like going from each character to each character, it did really, really well. So it's a look at the personal and professional lives of a group of women in the 80s who performed wrestling in an organization in LA.
What was it? The Glamorous Ladies of Wrestling. Yeah, cool.
And,
so this is a true story?
Yeah, true story.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. Well, I think they're taking
the idea of it
and making it into something.
For sure.
But yeah, hilariously funny and really dramatic at the same time,
cool.
which I loved.
Good cast.
And got me in.
It's got a really strong cast.
Strong cast, yeah. Alison Brie. I've never heard of Mark Maron. Sam, my wife has. He's Mark Maron. He's a comedian.
Yeah.
Genius acting.
Sure.
It was amazing. But yeah, like episode 1 sucked right in.
That's good. I like when
first episode, bang. If you can, come up with an episode 1 like Newsroom does,
that hooks you from that first scene, really.
Yeah.
And that scene's been shared way too many times on fucking Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, it really has, that scene.
Watch
the fucking episode. The scene is good. Watch the episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first episode of Glow is really good. Plus the soundtrack, the fact that because
I could tell I would fucking love the soundtrack. Yeah.
So and because I'm a massive wrestling fan, going from the 80s because of WWE, I knew like all the
double whammy for you.
Yeah, the moves that they're doing, all of that stuff. It does it really, really well.
I'll just take a moment for something that we do like to promote here on NIC Tys and Videotape.
Yeah,
good font. It's really good font.
Fucking rad font. And you have no idea. So when it starts. When the episode starts, it does this and does like a glow. Oh,
yeah, I love it. Love it.
But yeah, one last thing I wanted to say was, no, it's gone. Cut that out. It was good.
I'm not cutting that. I like it. It's an example of
your
train of thought. Speaking of TV shows, I also did finish American Gods. First season.
Really?
Yeah, get on it.
It's good.
It's definitely worth it. Not a lot happens in that first season.
That's okay.
But it's just a really enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre.
Yeah.
And in a really kind of quirky, fun way. Yeah, had a really good time with it.
Nice.
Well, that's going to wrap us
Ladies and gentlemen,
up.
that's it.
Nick,
we're done.
I'm so glad you're back.
Oh, buddy.
Hey, we didn't talk about what we're going to do next week.
Shit.
What are we going to do next week?
Should we make it a surprise? Because we don't actually know.
We'll make it a surprise because we got no fucking idea. This was a surprise anyway. We'll make sure it's not some obscure piece of fucking weird thing that you haven't seen before. We'll make sure it's something that you've definitely seen, so that we don't have to. You don't have to scramble to watch it. But
or that you know of it and you've seen it, like Labyrinth.
Yeah, exactly.
No
one.
Watch it again.
Watch it again.
Watch it again.
And realize, am I just seeing things that aren't actually in this movie?
Yeah, exactly.
Tell me.
Yeah.
I'd love to know.
Please
Jump on the Facebook and let us know what you thought of Labyrinth.
Jump on the social medias.
All
Follow
the
us.
social medias. Social medias?
Social
Oh,
medias.
the social
All
medias.
the social medias. And then jump on the iTunes.
Jump on the iTunes, rate,
Give us a review.
Subscribe.
Absolutely. It gives us so much pep in the morning.
It does. It makes my day when I see that.
We're gonna and write us an email.
Write us an email. Tys and Videotape at gmail.com. Tell us what movie you'd like us to chat about, or what topic you would like us to rank.
Yeah, I like that.
Film,
I like that topic.
Person, anything you like.
We'll rank it. Yeah.
We'll rank flavors of chocolate milk.
We will. If you put up that we have to rank the Marvel movies, we're not going to do it because that is way too fucking hard right now.
No, we don't. There's not enough.
We will get there though, Tys.
One day.
We will get there.
Yeah. That's going to wrap us up, Nick.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen.
We're so glad to have you back. We will see you next week.
Bye, Tys.
Bye.
Bye.